last video, we have seen how we can find the new coordinates after the translation. But if you look at the original coordinates and the resulting coordinates, then you may find some ways to figure out the new position without using a piece of graph paper. Now, let's take the previous example. Okay, have a look. Okay, we have moved. We have translate, okay, the point 2 minus 5, 3 units left and then 5 units up, and then the new position is minus 1 0. And for the new position, actually we have a name for it, which is called image, because translation is a kind of transformation of coordinate in geometry. Okay, and then the result of this transformation is called an image. And then if we look at the coordinates more carefully, and then from 2 minus 5 and then to minus 1 0, okay, if we look at the x coordinate, it changes from 2 to minus 1, 2 to minus 1. And then for this change, we will we can conclude that this change is based on this movement, okay, to the left, because if we look at our x-axis is the horizontal axis, and the readings on x-axis is actually showing the positions of the point horizontally. That's why if we have a movement to the right or to the left, and then this kind of movement is actually a kind of horizontal movement, and therefore this movement will cause a change in the x coordinate. Therefore 2 to minus 1, and then we can see that if I start from the number 2, okay, if I minus 3, then it results negative 1 minus 1, and therefore we may think this minus 3 is due to moving to the left by 3 units. And then similarly, if we look at y coordinates, okay, there's a change in the y coordinate from negative 5, okay, to 0. And then since this movement, okay, moving up is a vertical movement, and then we may think that it changes the positions on the y-axis, because y-axis is the vertical axis, and then the readings on the y-axis actually shows the position of the point vertically. Therefore, if there's vertical movement, okay, we are quite sure that it causes the change in the y coordinates. Therefore, in this case, if we look at our example, negative 5 to 0, okay, if I have negative 5 plus 5, then it becomes 0. And now if we look at the movement here, we have moved the point, okay, 5 units upwards. Okay, therefore in this case we may relate this part plus 5 means 5 units up. And we can try to use another example to verify what we think. Okay, now let's have another example. Okay, this time we have, say, point 64. Okay, and then we will need to say translate. Okay, translate this point. Maybe we try maybe 4 units. Right. And then how about 8 units downwards? Okay. Now then in this case, to the right, it means it goes to this direction, okay, along x, okay, what we have just find. And then when we move to the right of x-axis, it means the number gets bigger. Therefore, we may think that if I want to move 4 units to the right, we need to plus 4. We need to plus 4. And similarly, if we want to move h units downwards, okay, downwards is a vertical movement, okay, in this direction. And then in this case, if we move downwards, think about the readings on the y-axis, it gets smaller. Therefore, we may wonder that should be -8, -8. Therefore, if we use our starting coordinate 6, 4, okay, then it means the new position of the point position, or we can call it image, okay, image under translation. And then the new x coordinate should be starting from 6 and then plus 4, and the y coordinate should be 4 and then -8, and then I should have 10 and then -4. And then we can try to use a piece of graph paper, okay, to check with it. Okay, we can use a piece of graph paper, okay, quickly check with it. Okay, and what we have now, okay, when we have a later, if you have become more familiar with the topic, you can just have a very quick diagram. Instead, you can just have a draft of the graph instead of using a piece of graph paper like that. Okay, if I quickly plot the point 6, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, of course, we should label it like that. And then 4 going up, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is the position of the point, the original position. Okay. And then now I would like to move 4 units to the right. Therefore, it means starting from this point, move to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And then 8 units downwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then this is the new position. This is the new position. And then if I continue to label the axis, then the x-axis for this point is 10. And then for the y coordinates here, okay, corresponds to -4. And then you can compare it, okay, with the calculation here. Okay, the results match with each other. Therefore, it means if you understand the mechanism, actually you can just find the image, okay, after translation, okay, just by a simple calculations like that.